When sin is viewed as a rejection of self rather than a religious or moral tenet, its relevance in a secular world becomes much more clear. The word impeccable means without sin, from the Latin impeccatus, meaning sin, and the prefix im, meaning without. Today is the first video in a 4-video series about the book, The 4 Agreements, a Toltec Wisdom book by Don Miguel Ruiz. Each video will be about one of the 4 agreements. Today, we'll talk about the first agreement, be impeccable with your word. On the surface, all of these agreements are pretty standard and aren't particularly profound or enlightening, but I promise there is power in simplicity. Perhaps it's not something new or flashy that we need to wake up from this distracted dream of ours, but instead a more intense effort directed towards something meaningful. These 4 agreements, simple as they are, can cultivate a whole lot more meaning than your Facebook or Twitter feed. And that's what I'm going to argue. So let's get to it. The first agreement is the most important agreement because with our words, we have the power to create. When we say things, we make agreements to ourselves and to others about what the world means and how we intend to live within it. We create promises with ourselves, promises that affect how we think, promises that affect how we act, promises that affect the behavior of those around us, promises that should not be taken lightly. Our words, depending on how we use them, can bind us or set us free. In the view of Toltec wisdom, our words are either white magic or black magic. White magic are words that set us free, and black magic are words that enslave us. In the view of Toltec wisdom, our words are spells that we cast on the world. Whether or not you believe in spells or magic, surely you can believe in the power that words create. The words we say make their way into our minds when we hear them spoken, and our mind is a vast field of fertile ground ready for the planting. The words we say plant seeds within our minds, and we choose which seeds to cultivate. The human mind is fertile, but only for the kind of seeds that it is prepared for. So you have a choice to make about what you're going to receive. Think about cancel culture or any other form of wokeness. To some extent, and I mean, to a large extent, these movements are positive. There is a need for social change in many areas of our lives and in our cultures. Many people, most in fact, are not born privileged the way that I've been. But the point is still valid. Often the main message of these movements, the main message of these things gets convoluted, distorted, and even lost within the webs we weave and the overload of information that we receive. When we hear these words, when we say these words, we get riled up. We react, our blood starts to pump, and we immediately have an opinion. No matter what we say or how we say it, we're making an enemy somewhere. When this happens, we cultivate the seeds of fear. We embrace a culture of fear. Our minds are ready to feed fear because fear is easy. Fear is sensational. Fear will cause a reaction, but there is a better way. Instead of cultivating a culture of fear, we can create a culture of life. We can use words as an antidote to emotional poison. We can speak words with intention. We can speak with patterns of communication that are meant to express gratitude and meaning and love. These virtues are not immature. Our refusal to find value in them is what is immature. Our acceptance of anger, jealousy, envy, and hate is immature. When we hear an opinion and believe it, we make an agreement, and it becomes part of our belief system. When we incorporate negative opinions into our belief system, we speak to others and spread that belief, and the world becomes a little less colorful, and the world has a little less life. Gossip. Gossip is the worst form of emotional poison. Gossip spins in patterns that erodes everything around us. So what do we do to prevent emotional poison? How does being impeccable with our word have anything to do with that? Well, it has a whole lot, actually, to do with preventing emotional poison. We start by being impeccable with our word, and then we move on to the rest of the agreements. We start by making promises to ourselves that spread love, affection, and growth. We prepare our minds for the seeds of growth. We choose the fertile ground of white magic, those words that inspire and create rather than those words that destroy and impoverish. So that's my overview of the first of the 4 agreements. Be impeccable with your word. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on more. I'll be posting 3 more videos about the 4 agreements in the near future, but better yet, pick yourself up a copy of this book and read it for yourself. It's a quick read, but it's sure to pack a punch if you're paying attention. And with that, I'll let you go. See you on the next one.